First, Kansas City Chiefs linebacker Javon Belcher is involved in a murder-suicide. And now Dallas Cowboys nose tackle Josh Brent is facing charges of intoxicated manslaughter after a car accident in which teammate Jerry Brown was killed early Saturday morning. If found guilty, Brent could face 2 to 20 years of prison time. Brent is being held without bond. Rather than traveling with his team to face the Bengals, the 3-year veteran was booked at the Irving City Jail at 4:14 a.m. On Saturday. His bond will be set Sunday morning. The Irving police detailed what happened.
It appeared as if he was traveling at a high rate of speed, at which time his vehicle touched or impacted the outside curb of the service road, causing his vehicle to flip at least one time. The vehicle ultimately came to rest on its top once it slid back into the roadway and came to rest in the center of the service road. Our initial indication is that when our officers arrived on scene, Mr. Brent was removing or dragging Mr. Brown from the vehicle. I should also point out that the vehicle actually did catch on fire. It wasn't a large fire. It wasn't fully engulfed, but that fire was put out by our officers who first responded on scene. Our officers on scene felt as if alcohol was a contributing factor in the accident, so Mr. Price Brent was asked to perform some field sobriety tests. After he performed those field sobriety tests, based on his performance of those tests, along with our officers' observations and the conversations that they had with him, he was placed under arrest for driving while intoxicated. Now, once our officers learned that Mr. Brown had passed away, then Mr. Price Brent was under arrest for intoxication manslaughter.
Peter Schaefer is Brent's agent. He released this statement from his client. Quote, "I am devastated and filled with grief. Filled with grief for the loss of my close friend and teammate Jerry Brown. I am also grief-stricken for his family, friends, and all who were blessed enough to have known him. I will live with this horrific and tragic loss every day for the rest of my life. My prayers are with his family, our teammates, and his friends at this time." The Cowboys are facing the Bengals Sunday. Bob Holtzman and Calvin Watkins are with them in Cincinnati.
It's the night before a crucial football game for the 6-6 Dallas Cowboys, but it feels nothing but normal here in Cincinnati tonight. I'm joined now by Calvin Watkins of ESPNDallas.com, who covers the Cowboys on a daily basis. Calvin, how was the news broken to this team today about the tragedy last night?
Well, team officials found out about this around 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. The players had a walkthrough practice, which they always do before a game, and the Cowboys informed the team that Josh Brent and Jerry Brown were involved in an accident. They couldn't tell them that Brown had passed because police had not informed Brown's family that he was gone.
Josh Brent, we know, had a DWI while he was in college at Illinois. What do we know about him other than that?
Well, I know when he first broke into the league, he couldn't drive, so players were giving him rides, but he's a really nice guy. I would have a conversation with him about Big Ten basketball because he went to Illinois, and they called him Beast Mode because he was just a fiery guy on the field. But off the field, he was really a soft-spoken guy. You can always talk to him.
The Cowboys have told us we won't hear anything from Jason Garrett or any of the players tonight. How do you expect this team to handle all the emotion with this big game for them here tomorrow?
It is a big game. I mean, some would think they were going to lose this game anyway before what happened on Saturday. But this is a pretty close-knit team. Jason Garrett has told the team, look, you got any problems, let me know. Everybody likes each other in this team. The defensive line is a very, very close group. Jay Ratliff, Jason Hatcher, Marcus Spears, they're the leaders of the D-line. So they take all those guys in like brothers. They still talk to defensive linemen not with the Cowboys, like Chris Candy, who's in New York, and Stephen Bowen, who's with Washington. So I think the Cowboys will respond here because the thing that they've done all year, they've been able to block out all the noise surrounding us, criticizing the team. They've taken a one-game-at-a-time approach, and they might put up a good effort on Sunday.
The Cowboys held 2 hours of team meetings Saturday night, just as they normally would do. They also had counselors available to players for those who needed them. For Calvin Watkins, I'm Bob Holtzman in Cincinnati, ESPN.
As for Josh Brent, he's in his 3rd NFL season. He made his first start in this year's season opener against the Giants. He has played in all 12 Cowboys games this season and recorded his first career sack Week 4 against Chicago. He was originally chosen in the 7th round of the 2010 supplemental draft out of Illinois, where he was teammates with Jerry Brown.
Coming up on